Hello, everybody, and welcome to Learning Things with Kyle and Phil. I'm Phil.
I'm Kyle.
And today we have an amazing guest, my good friend and comedian, Mr. Stephen Campbell, everybody.
Stephen Campbell.
Give it up for him.
Give it up, my G. It was very, very nice meeting you today. Man, this was such a fucking incredible.
Such a good dude.
Incredible podcast. This was probably one of my favorite podcasts. We got into a crazy flow.
You can just talk to him forever.
You can just, he's one of the most
He is, yeah.
One of the biggest conversationalist people that I've ever met.
Absolutely. You know, he's such a great dude, and he's very deep. He has a lot of crazy stories, which we kind of talked about and everything.
Yeah, and getting into, we talk about cadavers and the CIA and FBI and how he used to work in automotive.
And in blood splatter.
Yeah.
And all this weird shit.
Splatter and automotive crash tests with cadavers in the black market.
Yeah.
And
we talk about the CIA, we talk about sweating, we talk about diarrhea and how sometimes it chooses you. And just so much different shit.
Yeah, a lot of great talk about comedy as well, which I really enjoyed, and diving into that world and even just being present as people, which was big for me, and I think him and I connected a lot on that, which was really enjoyable for me personally, because I've been really trying to tap into that myself. So
yeah, no, he's great. If you guys don't know Stephen Campbell, like I said, he's a very, very funny comic, and he also has a podcast of his own that streams on Twitch and is also on all podcasting platforms called Non-Profits, which is really cool, where they talk, him and his co-host Frankie French, who's a hilarious comedian herself. They have different guests on who are from nonprofits, and they have them talk about, their mission and what they do and how they help the people that they started the nonprofit for. So definitely check that out as well too.
Yeah, hopefully I can get on that with him with the nonprofit that I'm working for, Lights Out Volleyball. You can check us out at www.lightsoutvolleyball.org. What we do is we bring the sport of volleyball to underserved and underrepresented communities throughout the world.
There you go.
Go check us out. Hopefully I can get on the podcast with him, talk a little bit about that, and
nice.
Have another great day with him.
Yeah, there we go, man. I think he's a great dude. I hope you do get to have some time with him. Exactly. And let's get into the old podcast.
The old sponsors first.
Oh yes, sorry, my bad.
We don't have any sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. First and foremost, thank you so much to Coco Jordana for your love and support. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. One of the greatest photographers in New York City at this current moment. She is a all-around photographer. She takes actors' headshots. She's most known for her actors' headshots. She also takes wedding photography, portraits, fashion editorial work, all the sorts. We had our photos taken a couple weeks back.
She's really incredible.
Fucking amazing. Yeah, you can go through her website. If you are listening to our podcast, she is running a 20% discount on all of her packages if you use the code LEARN20, and that's if you contact her via her website, which is www.cocojordanaphotography.com. That's COCOJOURDANA photography.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Coco Jordana. So thank you so much.
And we'll also have a lot of this stuff listed in the description, and the link will be there as well.
Yes. It is also her logo and her website. If you click her logo on the bottom of our homepage on our website, it will take you directly to her website as well.
All right.
Our second sponsor today is the lovely Good Luck Dry Cleaners. We happen to be wearing the same.
I know, yeah, it's kind of crazy. We didn't plan it, actually. I just haven't done laundry in a while, and this is the last thing I had. But it's a great shirt, so I'm happy about it.
That's right. Good Luck Dry Cleaners is an amazing art gallery here in New York City. What they do is they travel around, they bounce from place to place, and set up shop for a couple months at a time, or maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever they want to do. They also throw some amazing events in New York City. They have incredible art, incredible events, and they are backed by incredible people. Phil Reese, thank you so much. Jeremy Penn, you're an amazing man. Your new clothing brand, Sweat Yourself, has just come out. You guys are doing an awesome job, and your painting is just absolutely incredible. Go check them out. You can find them on Instagram at Good Luck Dry Cleaners. Their logo is also at the bottom of our homepage on our website. If you click that, it'll take you directly to goodluckdrycleaners.com. Go snag some merch. They have t-shirts, hoodies, all kinds of funny, intricate stuff. They also have masks.
And they have
you're
markers
still
and stuff
looking
too,
for a
right?
mask. Sorry?
They have like markers and
They
stuff
have
too,
markers
and
and
pens.
like I think they still have ashtrays, or they used to have ashtrays at one point.
Tons of
stickers, all
merch.
this stuff. So
yeah.
go check them out. They're super, super dope, and get in the loop with them. You are not going to want to miss out on what they're bringing to New York City.
And we'll also put that link in the description as well, so you guys can
Absolutely
click and get right there.
Yep.
Yep.
And last but not least, we have Peaceful Squirrel. Thank you so much for your snacks. Let's get some more in here, man.
Yeah, we could use some more. We're a little famished at this point.
We're hungry, but
little peckish.
you guys have been great. The snacks are a very, very healthy alternative to our snacking habits.
Definitely.
What they do is they deliver boxes curated for you and for your needs and for your health needs directly to your door. They're huge for anybody who has health complications, or anybody even just suffering from like gluten intolerance or anything like that, like Phil has some issues with. Super healthy snacks. Yeah. You can riff and tell them about how they've kind of helped you.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've had some digestive problems, like I've talked on before. Guys, let's get real, okay? I fart a lot. No, I've gotten ahead of it a lot more, but I'm lactose and I'm also gluten intolerant, which can cause a lot of problems. Anywhere I go, there's a bunch of shit that I can't eat that all tastes delicious. So if I have something like Peaceful Squirrel, it's really, really good snacks that are also healthy for you and have my same dietary restrictions, which is cool. It's nice to have something actually curated for you. Because when you have these ailments, especially two of them together, lactose and wheat, it just becomes so hard to find anything. So if you have a bunch of shit that just all takes care of that, it's great.
And depending on where you are located, it can be hard to find healthy snacks.
Oh, without a doubt.
Food options. With this, they just deliver it right to your door, which is really, really dope. You can find them on Instagram at Peaceful Squirrel. You can also find them on Amazon, which is right now where they're holding their main shop. If you just search Peaceful Squirrel as well, you can also be directed right to their Amazon page through our website at the very bottom, right where both Good Luck Dry Cleaners and Coco Jordana are located, just by clicking their logo. We are all done here today, folks. Let's get into this class.
Yeah.
Stephen Campbell, fucking amazing, man. I cannot wait for all of you to hear this.
Hell yeah.
Please, please, please tune in. Have some fun. Fucking what else you got to say, man?
Dude, that's about it. Let's just get into it, man. Class is starting.
Let's get right in there. We'll see you in class.
See you in class. Peace. All right, so.
This is so buttery.
Right, it does sound nice, right? Just like right there, it does.
From the Butter Boys in the morning. 95.678.
All right, can you just sit down and I'll just check where you're at and then we'll start because we've been recording.
This is Bebop and the Butter Boys.
Straight up right now?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks great. That looks fucking great.
Cool.
Looking
Yes,
good.
sir.
Sounding
yes, sir.
better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You guys remember that song? Can I Have It Like That by Pharrell? That was a hot song, right? With Gwen Stefani?
Can I have it?
Yeah.
You got it like that.
Yeah.
We need your Modelo out of the shop.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Because of branding?
Because of branding. Yes. Look at this Mr. Finance over here.
Hofbrau.
This guy. Look at this fucking clever person over here.
So this can I show Hofbräu House?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well,
They've sent us a couple letters.
Yeah. They're all in German.
We can no longer display the emblem of Hofbrau
From a
House.
very prominent GmbH.
Yeah. I don't know. They're some tough cookies. They're a bitter IPA. You know what I mean? mean?
I used to do a lot of work. I used to do a lot of work for this Japanese company, and we would go to this trade show every year in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And one night we took all the Japanese guys to the Hofstra house, and they're like very timid dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this lady's walking around in the German garb, you know what I'm talking about, the lederhosen or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's got these like test tube shots of Jaeger, and she's like, "Who wants a shot? Who wants a shot?" And I was like, "I'm gonna get a shot for this the most timid of the Japanese guys, right? Like his English wasn't that good, he didn't really talk." And so I get him the Jaeger shot, and she makes him stand up to take the Jaeger shot, and hits him in the ass with a fraternity paddle, like hard, like really, really hard. And I was mortified. I was just like, oh my God, the most timid guy. Like I just got his ass slapped. And the smile that came on his face, he ordered like 8 shots for himself at a business dinner where he would just stand up in the middle of dinner and just get his ass slapped. Like while we're talking business.
Of course, dude. Dude, Japanese people created tentacle porn.
True.
You think a fucking frat boy's slap is gonna do anything to this man? If anything, it helped get him hard. He probably can't get hard unless he's humiliated in front of everybody.
Yo, the deal went through.
Yeah, they made the fucking, with the fucking tentacles and shit.
Yeah.
They do all sorts of crazy shit, pee and stuff. I mean, fucking like Germans and Japanese people. No wonder they got together in World War II. You know, because they have some weird porn, man. There's some sort of camaraderie that they have.
There's this weird thing in Japan where the porn's wild, but
It's so up, but they're super timid.
But people aren't having sex all that often.
Yes, I heard about that. They
there
call them
was
like
like,
vegetarians or something.
Abe put in a thing that was like basically like a Valentine's Day, but like a little bit more sexual. Like I forgot what they called it, but it was like a day to celebrate like love, but it was like supposed to be let's make some babies, guys, because their population rate is going down.
Well, dude, it's crazy. I read an article about it. It's funny you brought it up because I read that article about like 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, I guess, we were talking about how, in the culture or whatever, or at least in the porn culture of Japan and stuff, it can be very, very raunchy and very crazy and everything like that. So I guess there was an era of like kind of a sexual explosion out there or something. And they were saying in the article that this new generation is sort of a reaction to that.
Interesting.
Like their parents and grandparents, I guess, were more into that type of stuff. And I guess they're just, I don't know, they're taking things in a different direction. And also, video games and social media and all that stuff. It's like Japan's been ahead of the curve in everything technology for so long. So it makes sense that they're hitting that speed bump in technology of like less interactions earlier than we are.
Yeah.
It but I want to go out to Japan and just fucking
I used to go out to
wreck that shit. I'm here.
I used to go out to Tokyo for work a lot. And,
oh wow.
It's such a beautiful culture, beautiful people, but they love Tommy Lee Jones. There was, like I was there. It would have been
hilarious.
It would have been like 2012, I guess, or 2013 or something like that. It was like the last time that I went out there. But Tommy Lee Jones was everywhere, all over billboards, all over vending machines.
Were they the only people who saw Men in Black 3?
Right, I don't know what his latest work is, but like I don't know how homie got so big in Japan.
It's hilarious,
bro. I went to one of the vending machines that had Tommy Lee Jones on it, and it was just like all in Japanese, right? So I can't read shit, and so I just picked one at random, and it was hot cream corn, and it was like it was a summer day, and like I just wanted something refreshing. I was just like, just please, hot cream corn. I was just like, but I'm with the Japanese dudes that are showing me around, and like it's rude to like show any like disgust and like any of that things. So now I'm just sipping on hot cream corn on like a hot summer day. It was fucking horrible.
I could just see your face too, just like it comes out of the vending machine just kerplunk. You're
warm,
like
warm already. So like that's odd. Maybe it's a tea and fucking hot cream corn, and I'm just sitting there. These guys are trying to talk business, and I'm trying to just power through a hot cream corn on a hot, humid summer day. It's fucking horrible. I'm wearing like a suit and shit, just sweating through it.
That's amazing. But let me ask you, how is Japan for you, because you just like me smoke a lot of weed.
Sure.
And they are not about that out there. And it's so much, in fact, that I believe like Japan, you get caught with weed, it's possible to go to jail for maybe even like 8 years or something like that.
I don't know what the rules are specifically, but they're more strict.
They're very, very
than
strict.
Us. At that point in time, I mean, I was like working with the CIA, the FBI, and shit like that. So like I was doing a lot of shit where I was having to stay not.
Oh, okay, I got you. Tell me more about you being a secret agent. Yeah, what the fuck?
No. I wasn't like doing. No.
Did you like how you just casually dropped that?
I was.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Just like
Yeah, right. Once I saw what Tommy Lee Jones was capable of doing in Japan, I thought, I need something.
He's like, so I was the president's advisor, but
well, no. So I should clarify. I was a government contractor that sold shit to the CIA and the FBI.
Gotcha.
So
Perfect cover.
We would we'd go to Camp Perry, which is the farm. Like, did you ever see that Colin Farrell movie, The Recruit or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's all taking place at the farm. Like, so that's where I would go, and we would do research with high-speed cameras.
Nice.
So I was an automotive crash research consultant, and I was doing a lot of like military contracting.
So like, what were you, as far as your research, like what was it helping do? Like what were you,
so
high speed.
Some of the shit on the CIA stuff I still am
can't
not
say.
allowed to talk about, but one of them
this guy's fucking hanging out and smoking weed with aliens and shit.
No, I mean, not that
I can't disclose.
but one of them that I think I can talk about is there was like this dummy, this like a test dummy type thing at a podium, and so like you would test blood splatter and like how to alter blood splatter. So like
how to alter blood splatter.
Because so like snipers that are above any political figure, like anytime a big political figure is talking, there's snipers everywhere, right? And so if there's a counter sniper, all those other snipers, if that person shoots, those snipers are looking at the blood splatter to know exactly where that sniper came from. So if you
that's insane.
So if you can master the art of changing your blood splatter, you've bought yourself like, because like if you do it,
that sounds like magic,
right? So like if you
change
can
your blood
so
splatter.
if you can alter the
Fucking
blood
Naruto.
splatter so that it's a completely like 180 situation, everybody thinks you're in building this building.
But you're
whatever. So,
but was there like a new type of bullet that allowed people to manipulate
that part
that
I was not privy to.
Got you. Okay.
Probably though.
Yeah, probably. That's the weird thing there. You can't just be changing your blood splatter, like, bruh. Like, unless
the only thing you can really control on that,
Yeah.
I feel like, is how the bullet moves through somebody.
like unless niggas have powers,
Exactly
like
what
you
I'm
can't.
saying is-
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's like some sort of explosive projectile that comes that blasts out the other side.
Got you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe we should get off this subject before
Well,
before there's blood splatter on the wall.
True.
shrapnel on impact, so you have no idea where it actually came from.
But I did I did a lot of stuff with automotive crash research, and so one of the first, so like I started in Minnesota, got a promotion, and took over the whole East Coast, right? So they put me in DC, and so one of my first clients.
Aren't you in marketing?
At that point in time, I was in like sales, business development, and doing a lot of stuff
Okay.
with like automotive crash research consulting.
Okay. Because I'm like, what is this PR guy?
Well, then
learning how to change blood splatter. Like, what the fuck is going on?
when I was at that company, I was getting my MBA.
Yeah, okay.
And then from there, I went into market consulting for like companies and shit like that.
Yeah.
And but the first person that we visited was this like crash research facility.
Okay.
And they didn't tell me that they use cadavers for their testing.
Fucking Christ.
So just dead bodies. And so like, so one of the things that when you put on your license, like that you'll be a donor or that
You could be one of those dummies there.
One of the possibilities is you could get strapped into a Buick and get crashed into the side of a wall.
Niggas just playing jackass with your fucking
true.
dead body.
True. And so
throwing you off shit. How disrespectful is that, bro?
So I had no idea.
How fucking
And so
disrespectful is
I had
that,
no idea
bro?
this was even a thing, right?
Oh,
and
my
so I
God.
get into this big like dark room, right?
Yeah.
And there's a projector, and they're using our cameras going at 2,000 frames per second. So
Yes.
if you think about that, football is at 250 frames per second when they're doing high speed or like slow motion.
Oh,
so
wow.
2,000 frames per second that they're watching a cadaver on a screen get mangled in a car in slow motion, and they're asking me a question about this one little pixel issue, and so they're like asking me like about the tech issues that they're having with this one pixel, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck are we looking at right now? And they're just like, so obviously the problem right here is this pixel.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the problem is that there's a mangled fucking body in 2,000
right
frames
there.
per second that we're all just pretending is totally normal. And so, so they had this issue, right?
This is fucking nuts.
like a whole black market for dead bodies, right? Because they do, So they do this testing,
my
right?
God.
And so first we were importing dead bodies from India, but then
Of course. It's
the
Indians, fucking black people, and Mexicans.
Well-
how much you want to bet? That's nigga.
Well, unfortunately, there's a surplus of dead bodies in India.
Yeah, probably.
But NHTSA, the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, they came out and said that dead Indian bodies were too frail for the fat build of an American.
What a humble brag.
So they had
Frail.
so they made regulations that they had to stop importing bodies from India. So then the black market flooded, where these people would be posing as like saying that they had certain like certifications and they wouldn't. So like I showed up to this test lab and like I was gonna sell them this like really big piece of equipment. Like we've been talking for a long time.
This is
All we had to
fucking
do
nuts.
was just like show them the shit and they would write the check.
What
and
the
I get
fuck?
there. And the dude's like, Steven, we can't meet today. Like, I was like, yo, we've been planning this forever. He's like, we have an emergency. I was like, what? He's like, all our bodies have hepatitis C.
Someone's been fucking the bodies.
Right. Well, so not like, oh, one of the bodies was contaminated.
All
Every
of
single
them.
body that they had taken a shipment of bodies all had hepatitis C.
Wow.
And so, which there's like blood splatter and shit when you are crashing dead bodies against.
Of course. Yeah. And you can get sick.
So
Somebody lace those bodies with fentanyl.
So
How
I need to
crazy.
clarify this too. These cadavers, they're not like, because I've worked on cadavers before.
Okay.
For
Someone's fancy.
yeah.
I've worked on cadavers before in like sorry, what?
In someone's backyard.
I
I buried a body once.
Yeah.
in college.
It's freelance.
Yeah.
What is the name of the course?
We hit him and we just drove.
Anatomy. Sorry. Anatomy was blanking.
We just kept driving.
So these cadavers, though, like those are dried cadavers where we're just working on muscles and tissue and shit. There's no blood.
Sure.
So are you like these people, these cadavers?
Fresh.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all part.
Fish scale,
That's all
nigga.
part of the analysis.
Like
Yeah. So typically best practice is you switch between cadavers and test dummies.
Wow.
Where test dummies have the rigidity that
It's not real. Yeah.
right. And then, but also one of the issues is that when you get in a car accident, you always tense up. So then the cadavers are very often not a good representation. So you have to do a back and forth and
Yeah.
basically average your answers.
Yeah. Based on that.
Yeah.
well,
That's crazy.
fucking crazy, right?
I just want to know.
But what I'm asking about these cadavers is that like they're fully
They're still squishy.
and have their face, have their hair like fresh.
No hair. No hair.
A picture of their family is tattooed on their
so
forehead.
They're hairless because there's
You know who that nigga was.
Yeah.
It says his name.
Yeah, they have a little fanny
Said his
pack.
favorte color.
They have a fanny
you
pack
know,
with all their favorite
each one.
belongings.
Yep. You got to watch a whole movie of each cadaver
Before you strap them into the front
on
seat.
8mm film, like the Mockingbird video
Yeah.
with Eminem.
Yeah.
You got to drink scotch in a dark room.
Hush, little baby. yeah. That shit was wild. They would put so like I used to go to Sweden all the time. I'd work with Volvo and they used to they had, because the highest fatality in Sweden is moose, right? So that you hit moose, and so they would have moose test dummies
Okay.
that were like fucking the size of a moose. I don't know if you've ever seen a moose. They're fucking
massive.
huge.
They're massive. And they are deadly. Like you see one dip the fuck out. Bro.
Yeah.
It ain't cool.
Very often they're walking away from car accidents.
Yeah, exactly.
Where-
and you're
where
not.
the-
yeah.
But so they just would crash cars into this fucking moose dummy.
Wow.
It was fucking funny to watch.
That's fucking wild. So if you just one quick question with this, what is, what's the top tier body? You know what I mean? What's
Top
like
tier.
the fish scale
Sure.
of like?
Well, you just need.
You know
a
what I mean?
big,
What's the
you just
pure
need-
MDMA?
You need a big sample size, and that's the issue, is right, because like by the time a car has been test rated or whatever, it's been tested hundreds and hundreds of times. You know? So likewise, that means that there's a lot of dummies and or dead bodies that need to be utilized to make
From
it happen.
anywhere. Okay.
So it's more of a sample size situation that you're like, oh, did we test? My understanding is children are only dummies. But did we
so they
test?
have some form of decency.
Right. But,
Jesus Christ.
But did we test it with with children? Did we test it with larger
Adults,
adults? And in
yeah.
America, you have a much
Yeah, we're
fatter,
fatter, definitely,
group
yeah.
that you need to be. They were like, these test dummies are like $250,000 a pop, and they.
I need to get in the fucking body business, bro.
Yeah. I'm sure that wouldn't weigh on your soul at all.
How is this not like a Netflix show? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some guy is like a clerk.
Well, they're
and
pretty
it's just
hush hush
something
about it. That's why I didn't say what lab it's at.
Got you. I feel you. So this is some wild shit. And this is why I invited you over, because you always have wild shit. You'll just casually drop some shit. Be like, yeah, like this motherfucker deals with dead bodies and watches shit in slow motion. You know, he casually tells me, he's like, yeah, I used to just like mediate shit for gangs and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All this type of weird shit. Like, yeah.
Are you gonna keep on? Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, tell me like a
Um,
little bit about your childhood, because I know a lot about it. But
I grew up in a
world
place, Simi Valley, California.
doesn't. Oh yeah.
Most drug overdoses per capita of any city in the country, 2012, 2013.
Okay.
Shout out to Simi.
Oh, by the way, this is my boy Stephen Campbell.
Oh,
we're
right.
20 minutes in.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's time to do the introduction.
Hey, I'm Stephen Campbell.
This is my boy Stephen Campbell, a great comedian and amazing show producer out in New York City, who runs a podcast on Twitch, right?
Yeah,
What's it called?
all the podcasting platforms, nonprofits, NONPROPHETS. We talk to different nonprofits and talk about social issues, and then what people are doing to alleviate those social issues.
Okay. Now talk about the gangs and heroin and shit.
Yeah.
Where's Simi Valley exactly?
Simi Valley is 30 miles out of LA,
Okay.
to the north.
Okay.
And so it's this weird spot where on one side is Malibu, like where the Kardashians and Justin Bieber live. And then on the other side is like where Training Day was supposed to be. Like
Yeah.
It's
It's like a weird mixture of
so
people.
yeah, so it means that some money flows in, some drugs flow in, and then it just starts circulating. So, but we used to have a lot of Mexican gangs and white power gangs. So my first friend that was murdered was in 7th grade from some gang shit, and so he was a Mexican dude, right? And so that was like the first friend that I'd ever had. And so after that death, I became closer with like a lot of the Mexican dudes, and so that was like 7th grade, right? And so as shit went on, white power gangs started up, or like, you know, they'd been there, but they were more prevalent. And so these Mexican gangs, they would fight all the time, but like I was the only like
White dude who just was cool.
that was cool with the Mexicans.
Yeah.
So like there were like
traitor.
lots of times where I would be invited to a fight solely to like mediate, make sure people didn't have knives on them, like try to make it so like people wouldn't like.
Gotcha.
Because like once
To be
somebody
fair.
hits the ground, you know,
It's a big deal.
once you hit both, that is a biracial thing that both the white power guys and the Mexicans started stomping when somebody hit the ground. So you would try to mediate that. I was called to do it. It was effective once, maybe. Like I was just like, all right, well, there's that fire. I don't know.
You were supposed to mediate, and eventually you just started bringing orange slices and just
Yeah.
Gatorade.
At
You're like-
halftime, give everybody Oreos.
You became the gang mom. You're like, hey, guys,
Right.
stop playing so
Just
rough.
sitting there in a fold-out chair, yelling coaching rules about a game I don't know. Do you ever play sports with like a parent who was so vocal but clearly knew nothing about the sport? Like I would have like wrestling. They'd just be like, kick him!
Yeah.
Kick him right in the shit. He's like, you can't do that, dog.
No, I actually, believe it or not, I didn't really play that many sports when I was a kid. Kyle, you were a bit more athletic, right? Back in the day, you played a lot in high school, middle school, and stuff like
Not
that.
athletic now at all.
Yeah.
What did you play in high school?
Just look at this guy. Come on. You kidding me? I mean, you know,
but yeah,
this
I
is buff. This is muscle.
I played a lot of sports. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
What kind of sports?
Growing up, I played. Basketball was like my first love.
Okay.
Big basketball player. Then ended up running in football. Ended up running track. So through middle school, it was those three, and then going into high school, I had a chance to go play football, but for some reason, something was just pulling me towards volleyball.
Okay.
And my physical education teacher in middle school was the boys JV coach for volleyball.
A man
in
of
high
multiple
school.
trades.
And shout
Oh
out
yeah,
to Mr.
this guy
Mula.
was a virtuoso.
Yeah.
Shout out, yeah.
Mr. Mula.
Shout out to Pang Mua. I actually literally just talked to him on the phone the other day for the first time in probably like 8 to 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a Hmong guy from Laos. I don't know if you know the Hmong people, but
I've seen Gran
they
Torino.
I used to live in
love
Minneapolis.
Volleyball is very, very big in their community.
I like King of the Hill also.
What's that?
You know? Laos. You're talking about someone being Hmong. I used to love King of the Hill.
Is he Hmong?
Yeah, Khan Samudra. Well, he's Laotian, but you said Laos as well, so that's something relatable. I was just trying to chip
when
in.
when I lived in Minneapolis, it was a lot of Somalian and a lot of Hmong.
Yeah, there's
And,
Really?
and those are both the first time that I had been like introduced to like
different cultures.
Those,
of
well, those
people.
cultures in like large.
large
Like I
groups.
met individuals, but
right.
No, yeah, that's always fun too when you see like different like large amounts of like different ethnic groups like come into a place just kind of like rapidly.
sure.
Like I heard, what is it, like Dearborn, Michigan has like
Highest
the
Muslim.
most Muslim people like in the entire country. Like I find that to be so cool because it's just
Yeah.
like the world just keeps turning.
Sure.
Like no matter what, people keep moving in places, doing different things. Like even gentrification, like, the only reason why I find it annoying is because, it might be hurting certain people in the community or getting people arrested who don't need to be arrested. But I don't mind the fact of like white people moving in here and making cupcake shops. That part is cool.
Sure.
It's just all the extra socioeconomic shit that makes it shitty, But change is always great.
Yeah, for sure.
Or not always, but it can
Change can be.
be. It's actually change is rarely great, but it can be.
I went on a Hinge date with somebody that she was horrible and just fucking horrible. And I talk about her on stage, but in the date, she said she was a white and she was saying that she was going on anti-gentrification Facebook groups.
Oh my God.
Like all black Facebook groups.
Yeah.
So she made a black Facebook and liked black Facebook groups and made black Facebook friends. Mm-hmm. And it's just like digital blackface.
Yeah, basically.
Blackface.
Dude, that's exactly what. And you know what the fucked up part is? She thinks she's doing the right thing.
Yo, she told me
You
about
know
it
what I
like,
mean?
she told me about it like she was telling me about the weather. Like she
Yeah.
was just like pumped about it. She's
She's like,
by the way,
Yeah.
I joined this anti-gentrification Facebook group.
Because I want to be a part of it, and I just want to know what they're doing. She's really acting like she actually thinks like I'm a part of this community.
Well, she would go into it
Fucking crazy.
and put like things on the post that would be like, what if white people cleaned up more trash?
Yeah.
And they'd still be like, nah, still fuck them. And she'd be like, God damn it. She's like trying to figure out what the solution is. By
Well,
spying. It's-
Obviously, the solution is a white lady.
Yeah.
You
right.
know, the solution is always a white woman.
I think
Know
that we're all agreed that if we're ever going to get out of this, white women are going to have to carry us there.
Yeah. I believe that. Cheers to that, my friend.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, fucking wild. I've been dating a little bit too recently and stuff. It's been nice. It's weird like dating during the pandemic and everything, but it's cool that everything's finally opening up now.
Sure.
You can actually go outside, like indoor. What is it like 100% now?
I mean, dude, it looks like it. I don't know what
We've
what the
gone
actual.
full Florida.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual rules are, but it fucking looks 100%.
It's Miami in this bitch.
I work in the restaurant industry and nightlife industry, and I don't even know.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's a big yes.
Yeah.
Well, we have a show on Sunday that when I spoke to the venue, I was talking to the manager and the owner, and literally every single question they had two different answers. Like I would just be like,
Right.
when is it opening to 100%? They both say different dates. What is it right now? They both say different percentages.
Yeah.
People are figuring it out. I get stressed out now that I just got so used to not having shit to do, like not having to leave the apartment anyway.
Hey, stop biting that. Sorry, my fucking cat's being bad.
But no, I just got so used to not having things to do that now having things to do stresses me out.
Oh, for sure.
I also like I have a show in Astoria, and I typically would be so pumped about it, and I am, but just the idea of going to Astoria sounds rough. Was that not running?
It
Right.
was, but I figured just reset
Yeah,
it.
oh, yeah,
Because
just
it was
set-
at,
yeah, yeah.
26.
Cool.
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that. The more responsibilities come back, I'm like, wait a second.
I know,
It
right?
was really nice being on.
Yeah,
Bro, I've been saying that from the jump. Like,
Yeah.
I have that joke where I'm like, I feel like everybody else suffered, but like, pandemic just brought everybody else down to my level. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
I was trying to chill. I never wanted to go outside, and now everybody else just has to do what I do. You know?
for sure.
And now I don't feel guilty. I don't have to beat myself up about it. You know? It's fucking lit. You getting free money out here, bro. Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy.
I just can't, like, I've canceled probably about 50% of the social plans I've made. Probably about that. I just canceled happy hour because of rain,
There you go.
which is valid, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh man, you are canceling a lot of shit.
Dude.
Like, you-
I'm telling you, I just canceled one of my Friday shows and stuff like
Sure.
that. I'm because I was just not even just being overwhelmed, but I'm just like, do I really want to do this? Like, what is the return that I'm getting? Like, now that I've spent so much time by myself, and I don't know, I've invested more in like who I am, what I want, and all that stuff, which the pandemic forced you to do. I really weigh my options and just be like, what am I getting out of this thing? If I'm not getting enough, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, I definitely started to value my social time more and people that I don't want to kick it with.
Yes.
I'm not kicking it with them. Like,
I don't fuck
I'm
with you,
just
bro.
not
It's
kicking
over.
it with them.
If I don't
There were
fuck
so
with
many
you, I don't
times
fuck
that I would
with
just end up at a party that I
Yes.
didn't know anybody, that I didn't want to be at, or I would just be at a bar and I'd be like, oh, I
hate
don't
all
like
these
any
niggas.
of these motherfuckers.
Everybody,
Like,
bro.
Dog, I had a kid hit me up, and I went to college with this kid.
Yeah.
I had him hit me up
Mm-hmm.
yesterday
Mm-hmm.
or the day before.
Okay.
2 days ago, actually. Now,
2 days ago.
asking me about who he can get his haircut from,
The
and
fuck?
I'm like, bro,
Look at my hair.
you moved into New York City 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
I tried to be nice and welcoming, and you came,
Yeah.
and we were friends. You think I got time to be talking to you about a goddamn haircut?
Yeah. No
I'm
fucking
at
way.
work, my G.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I value my time even to that point. I'm
Sure.
like, bro,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna text your ass back because first of all, I felt disrespected in general.
Yeah. He
But
called you,
at-
right?
At another time,
Yeah.
On the other side, I'm like, bro, I don't have time to be talking to you about
About bullshit.
Where you should go and get your fucking haircut.
Figure it out. You've
And
lived
you're
here for 2
complaining
years.
That the person that I actually recommended you to isn't fucking responding to you.
Yeah. Fuck off, bro.
Go find a motherfucking hairstylist. There's about
Yeah.
10,000 of them in New York City.
Dude, go to a
Yeah.
barbershop. Who cares?
I
What
got
do
people
you-
hit me up on Instagram being like, "You're hard to get a hold of." I'm like, "Yeah, motherfucker, because you're hitting me up about dumb shit that is just wasting my time."
But it's also
I
just
need to
like-
be putting this time.
Yeah.
Like, we're just talking. I
Yeah.
don't need to just talk anymore.
sure.
Well, it's like you're hard to get a hold of. It's like, yeah, because I don't want to talk to you.
And I'm doing other
I
fucking
don't want to
things.
speak.
Yeah.
This was on purpose.
And I'm doing other things. Like,
Yes.
When I can fucking talk to you and
Yes.
I want to put the energy and time
Yes.
into talking to you, I'll fucking talk to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If it's not fucking time sensitive or
Yeah.
like really important to my life or improve my life in that fucking
Yes.
moment, like you're gonna wait.
But do you have a barber recommendation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Van Bremen.
Christian Bremen.
This motherfucker always got the
Shout
plugs,
out.
bro.
Yeah.
Always
Really?
shouting people out, always
stylist.
in sponsorships. We try to do an introduction for every episode, and we're like, all right, it's only going to be 5 minutes.
5.
Shit is always fucking 15 minutes, bro.
Sure.
That's fucking exaggeration.
I've been doing a little.
I just want to thank Coco Jordana and such a beautiful soul. And
Who is Coco?
she's a photographer. She's actually is a brilliant photographer. Look her up on cocojordana.com. Yeah, no, she's a photographer. She did our headshots and stuff recently. She's cool as fuck. Really nice. Like, honestly, she's done some of the best photography I've fucking ever seen.
Yo, so I was
And that's real. That's not even.
amazing.
Her shit is lit as
before
fuck.
COVID. I wasn't really getting on many shows, and then
And now you own these streets.
well, January I had JFL auditions and of last year, and I was like starting to get a lot more. And then I just had my first at New York Comedy Club. Just had a couple at the Stand, and then shit went away. But before that, I don't recall so many photographers being
Yes.
so active.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. Like these guys are just documenting from the start to now, but there's a lot of there's Mike, there's
definitely there's JT, there's
Photo Juice, Aaron,
yeah, and then other people just casually like take shots and stuff too.
100%.
Yeah, no, it is really interesting. In fact, like I have my camera, but most of the shows that I go to, I bring my camera,
Sure.
and I kind of do like a little bit of like documentary shooting.
Sure.
And I kind of want to just document like what the comedy and like the pandemic kind of
Sure.
is and was, and like us coming out of it and going back to normal, you know?
Yeah.
Like 20 years from now, that's going to be cool as fuck.
I know.
You're going to be like, that dude from the Netflix movie.
Even a year from now, I'm probably going to be longing for it. I love all that outdoor shit.
Dude, this shit is lit as fuck. Like, now that audiences know how to deal with outdoor
Sure.
shows, it's so much better. Like, before the pandemic, bro, if
Yeah.
somebody told you you're doing an outdoor show, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to hear the laughs. People aren't going to be paying attention. It's going to be hot. Nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
Now it's like so
I remember we
much
did
better.
this Don't Tell comedy show where it was on top of 30 Rock, the Empire State Building's in the background. It was the dopest spot ever. And every comic complained about being outside and having background noise. And there was
On
a
the
hell
fucking top of the rock.
on the top. I was just like, and I was last on the show, and
bro?
I started like the first like minute and a half just riffing. I was like, this is the dopest shit. Like this is the
What are you
dopest
talking
shit
about? Yeah.
ever. But yeah, people shit on it a lot. But
That's crazy.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think there is things can definitely be overwhelming when you're outside as a comedian because
sure.
like your power comes from the silence, and then you build off of the silence.
Sure.
So if you don't have silence, you're already weaker immediately from the point of you getting
Sure.
on stage.
Yeah, right.
You know, so
It
there's
also just makes the venue feel bigger.
yes,
Having the bigger space.
yes,
I mean, I don't know exactly, but I mean, I've done a little stand up, so I know what it is like. But
yeah.
I can imagine that being in a bigger space like that has got to be.
It's a little tougher because it's just like, you know, you're always trying to convince people why you deserve their attention.
Right.
So when there's a million things distracting, it can make
Sure.
it tough. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of us have learned now because of the pandemic, you know, and it's helped us like all know how to deal with not just being outdoors, but like crowd work. I feel like so many comedians,
Sure.
whether or not they're funny or not, they've grown. A lot of
for
us
sure.
have matured.
there's a lot of
Some of
comics.
you niggas still aren't funny,
Yeah.
but you matured.
There's a lot of comics that just in the last like 9 months, I'm like, oh damn, there's like a night and day difference between that person's improvement.
They're fine with like being in the pocket. Like they can really
Sure.
chill there now. And they like understand it and shit.
And there's
bro.
something humbling to know that you'll never be as interesting as a puppy.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Anytime a dog would come into frame,
Oh,
the
you'd
whole fucking crowd just mugs around it. You're just like,
It's like, fuck you. I'm giving you my heart right now.
it's so funny.
You know?
Nick Hopping has a joke that it's. Let me preface: it is funny, but there is a part where he talks about killing different amounts of dogs, right?
Okay.
Thousands of dogs, right? But there was this dog that everybody had already
petted and
established
shit. Yeah,
as
they
like
loved.
their best friend.
He's the mascot.
And to see that audience turn, he was killing, and then he just starts talking about killing dogs, and like, oh man, Park Slope was not happy with him,
Dude. Do I have a fucking story for you? This actually happened last Wednesday at my show Pork Belly at Arrogant Swine, 7:30 and 9 p.m. You hear me? All right. Yeah, man. Nice plug. Anyway, so I did.
You hear the buttery voice. That we're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
oh yeah,
When this man needs to be a fucking
jamming with the
oldies.
oldies.
Like, everybody's gonna fucking hire you. Like,
I do have a voice booth. I have one right in here. I still haven't used
Oh,
it. I need to
nice.
put this shit together.
That's right. That's right.
But
You need to be the slogan fucking.
dude, I come up with some ill slogans on this motherfucker. I have. But yo, crazy shit. So I was doing my 7:30 show and it was raining, so we went indoors, right? At Arrogant Swine. And there's like fans going. It's hot as fuck, bro. It's like almost 100 degrees because they're barbecuing indoors.
Oh shit.
So it's the heat of the barbecue.
Oh, that's rough.
With the loudest
Yeah, I
fan.
was in there last night. It was hot as shit.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's brutal. right? It goes from being this fun outdoor festival show to like
Yeah.
just a brutal oven
Yeah.
where you're slowly cooking yourself while some guy talks about his dad not being around.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, what is happening?
We had that Wednesday.
What type of weird Auschwitz is this? You know?
We had this Wednesday, so I've been doing these shows at these like luxury apartment complexes, just hitting them up, just literally just calling them and being like, "Can I do a comedy show there?" And
That's
so
sick. That's a great idea.
So we
Hell yeah.
That's actually a really good idea. Sorry, just to interject. That's actually a really good idea because a lot of those luxury apartments, and for a lot of people listening that might not know this, I mean, they do it in smaller other cities and stuff like that. But those luxury apartments, they throw their own parties for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
apartments.
No, they
will
do.
Definitely book
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
as hosts.
We
I
locked up-
bartend a lot of those.
Nice.
events
yeah.
As for a company that I also work for. I guess I'll
Do you want to plug them too? Go ahead. It's in his bones. It's in his
plug
bones. He has
every,
the spot. He needs sponsorships.
Yeah, we locked up this deal with a group that we have 250 properties around Brooklyn. and New York.
Nice. Look at you.
But so we did.
fucking fire.
So again, another show.
Cadavers
rooftop.
or-
No. But it's another show rooftop overlooking the Empire State Building. But it rained, so we got moved into like the clubhouse joint. But it was the first time any of them had done any inside situation. So everybody was hot as shit,
Yeah.
and everybody had to wear their masks.
Yeah. So like,
So like it was just
Like breathing
just
through a wet
hot.
blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a rough.
dude.
It could have been a better show, but it was hot as shit, and everybody was masked up.
Well, dude, back to what I was saying though. So like that was the situation, right? And then I get on stage. Everybody did pretty well. There's like a couple of different comics, like 3 or 4. I go up, and you know how I have the jokes about like polyamory and one about astrology, right? So I make the joke. There's a bunch of people in there. There's like 20 people, but they're like 2 separate groups of like 10. You know, and so I start talking about like polyamory. I'm like, all my friends are poly, which is Latin for I have herpes, and immediately 10 people just go, "What the hell, man?" They're like, "Oh, like all this shit." So apparently, like they were poly, and I just started bombing, right? And then I was like, you know, I'm down for the practice, but I just fucking hate the people. And they're like, "Dude, what the hell?" You know? And so half the audience is gone. And I was like, "Yeah, but these guys suck." And, you know, like, I'm just busting your balls. Like, you guys don't suck as bad as astrology does. And then another 10 people go,
Oh, no shit.
"Oh, dude."
That's
and they just start
funny.
like booing, like not booing me, but just being
Sure.
like, "Really?"
That's funny.
Just like I lost 20 people in a span of 2 minutes.
You're gonna be doing shows in Brooklyn. You're gonna get a lot of polyamory, a lot of astrology.
And did 10 minutes of just silence.
That's funny
And
as
hard
shit.
stares and just like anger.
That's funny as shit. I did
In a
a
hot
show-
oven.
I did a show in Stockholm where I was the only one not speaking Swedish on, and
Nice.
the comic that went on before me apparently did a bunch of material on how his mom died, and I guess it was somber, but whatever. I didn't hear any of it, and
Yeah.
I get on and like we have a weird handoff of the mic, and I say something along the lines of like, "Come on, man, did your mom not teach you?" and whatever, and so I'm completely tone deaf to the whole thing, and so the fucking crowd hates me, and like
That's
I
great.
keep checking like, oh, do people not understand English? People are like, no, we understand perfectly.
We fucking hate
Yeah,
you.
like
And your mother teach you any manners?
right.
Dude.
That was like it. That was it, and
'Cause-
whatever. It was just like off the cuff, like whatever. I didn't think of anything, but he had just like opened up to the whole audience about how his mom had died and how rough it was for him and all this stuff.
And that's kind of what happened with me. It's like I was just bombing for 15 minutes. First off, I didn't even see the light, so I went way longer than everybody
no.
else. And it's torture. I like ran
You're like, please give me the light, and you just can't see it.
30 minutes of material in 10 minutes.
Oh,
like that's how silent it was. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck happened? Because they're like acting weird, but I
Probably
just didn't
sweating
know
your
I had-
ass off.
Sweating.
Oh, yeah.
Just like real fucking like Lenny Bruce, like looking like not even Lenny Bruce, but just like a 80s hack comedian with like a
Sure.
tie.
Sure.
You know, just like sweating
Yeah, yeah,
profusely.
yeah.
Like, ooh, it's
Has like,
ugly out
has
here.
like a handkerchief.
Yeah. Oh, boy,
Not a
it's
handkerchief, a
man.
handkerchief.
But then, yeah, that's when they told me, they were like, "Oh, dude, don't worry about it. The jokes are great. It's just that everybody over there was poly.
That's
and
funny
Everybody
as
over there was
shit.
really into astrology. And once you said that, they were gone.
That's the worst, man. When you have just a little bit of a glisten, like you're just hot, a little bit of a glisten, and as soon as you start bombing a little bit, that sweat starts pouring.
oh, bro,
Oh, it's the worst.
just dripping, bro.
Doing one of these numbers
That
the
shit
whole
is,
time.
yeah. Whew.
I'm a sweaty dude.
That's when you just start talking about it too. You're like, it's hot in
Yeah.
here, right? Am I crazy or is it? It's hot. It feels hot in here.
I need some I'm sweating so much in my toolkit jokes because it happens so often that I need to have something to just from the hip be able to.
Well, you just sweat from effort though.
Yeah, true. Some Robin Williams sweat.
You sweat like a black comedian.
Yeah,
you
true.
run around. This nigga needs a towel, bro.
Yeah.
Like you need a towel and a stool to hump.
That's
You
true,
fucking
dude. Anytime I
sweat.
do a plus 30-minute set, like it fucking takes a lot out of me. I'm like tired as shit afterwards.
Well, that's like what do they say? Like you're one of those people who reminds me of one of those sayings where they talk about like Bobby Fischer, you know, the chess champion, and they're like after one of his games, you know, they weigh him and it's like he lost 8 pounds,
Yeah, right,
as
right,
if he
right.
ran like 10 miles. That's what you
Wait,
remind me
that
of.
was a thing with Bobby Fischer?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's funny as shit.
Some shit where it's like, you know, like even people who are like intellectuals,
Sure.
if they're like professionals and true competitors at what they do, it can be just as draining on the body
Sure.
as running in a serious athletic event or something.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like Tiger Woods. Like the reason Tiger Woods like runs and is like fit is because like it helps him on the golf course. Not just dealing with like his stroke, but like his stress and everything like that.
Sure.
And all that takes shit out of you. Yeah. But that's basically like what you remind me of, where it's like we all think of comedians as like lazy, and it's like when he does a 30-minute set, he's like Lance Armstrong in the Tour de France.
Yeah.
He's leaving it all on the stage.
I definitely do. Well, my last like 30-minute
Fucking Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
You leave it all
Yeah,
in that fucking
right.
field.
my last 30-minute
Fight
like
for that
album
inch.
thing that I recorded, I was wearing this like big like fake fur jacket and a big beanie for some reason,
looking like
And,
Cameron.
oh my yeah,
Pink fur.
more homeless than Cameron, but yes. And then like my last story that I tell is all about like I had sex with this girl, she had a seizure, and it's just this huge act out of the process of having sex with somebody, she has a seizure, and me like running her body down to the lobby.
Classic love story.
Yeah. A tale as old as time. But that was like what I closed with, and it's so much like running around and just all this shit, and I was just pouring sweat to the point that like as I would say stuff loudly, you would just see sweat, just like
You're taking deep breaths and the sweat's like dribbling off your lip. It's just like
oh
Dude.
yeah.
I don't sweat too much, but I definitely have some spittle.
I do
You know,
too.
some of that. I try to manage it, but I'm like, fuck it. You're getting a good punchline right now.
Well, and then also
eat that, nigga.
the way
You in
the-
the splash zone, bro.
The way the
You know?
lighting is, like we can see it.
Literally.
Am
No pun intended.
I wrong? And is it just because of the lighting we can see it, the audience can't?
I always thought that they could see it. You think they can't?
I don't know, because there's been so many times that like if I was in the front row and I saw that
I would be
close,
like,
I would have
yes.
flinched, and like I get no reaction.
They never do.
But on Wednesday, I had a show where I connected on with a little bit of spittle on somebody's forehead, and like she was not cool with it. Like she was cool with it for having just been spit on. Like she held still, but like her eyes, like she was so pissed. And so now I'm just like, it was early in the set too, and like that's when I started, the sweat started just pouring, and like I'm just looking at her the whole time, just trying to run through my set and just like.
And she's the only thing you can think about. Yes, I've had that. Oh my god.
I'm hyper focused on that
Oh.
for sure.
Oh man, I'm
But
sure
I think
you.
when the lights are on you though, I mean, you can see your nose. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Your nose and everything just becomes so much more pronounced when those lights
Everything.
are directly on
Yeah.
you. You know.
But then at the same time, I feel like aside from like spittle or something, like everything else totally goes away. Like I can have a stuffed up nose. I can be sneezing like 10 seconds before I go on stage.
Sure.
As soon as I go out there, I am fucking fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then as soon as I'm off, I'm just like, I drop to the ground. You know, it's like the adrenaline somehow.
I feel like there is like, you can will yourself out of most mindsets, right?
Your pick up your microphone.
Oh.
There you go.
Sorry. You can will yourself out of most mindsets, like diarrhea. Like you can, I mean, there have been multiple times where I'm like standing at the train platform. I'm like, I'm going to shit my pants.
Oh, God.
And I'm just like, just try to fucking goose fraba that shit and just just like try to focus on
That's
anything.
how I know you grew up around niggas, man. Talking about Bad Boys 2 references and shit. This is a goose fraba.
Yo, Bad Boys.
That's hilarious.
I used to listen to Shake Your Tail Feather. Like
Yes, I used to love that
way
fucking
too
song.
often. That was the golden age of music videos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
man,
I kind of
Fucking funny, bro.
that's so fucking funny, man. No, I mean, yes, I think sometimes you can will yourself with diarrhea, but I'll be honest, you don't choose diarrhea oftentimes. Diarrhea chooses you.
Sure.
it
Yes.
chooses you, bro.
For sure.
And sometimes it's just like go,
And-
it come out of nowhere.
Sometimes, like through the pandemic, it was a high stress situation. I was in bad health. Diarrhea was happening. But then it was also this thing of like, you didn't have to train yourself to potentially hold shit when you were in transit to somewhere.
Yes.
Because you're like, the bathroom's right there.
That is true.
And so when I got back slowly into real world, I was like, I'm a shit before I leave the house every time.
Oh, yeah, and especially in New York City because like, first of all, before COVID, it's hard to find a place that
Oh my
you go
God,
into
yeah.
and take a shit. Like even Starbucks started cracking down.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
Everybody goes to Starbucks because they used to allow anybody.
That's my
in
spot.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now everywhere. I mean, they started cracking down on that before COVID, where it's like if you're not a customer, you cannot go to the bathroom.
Nah, that's real. Yeah.
But especially during COVID, it got even.
They weren't
more
fucking with
difficult
it.
because nothing was even fucking open.
Well, I think that's the big problem now that we're gonna see once the society like fully reopens is people are gonna like certain companies are gonna keep practices that they had because of COVID and just keep them, and now it's just gonna fuck over people who don't have money or anything like that. Like a lot of places are gonna be full on cashless now.
Yeah.
Not
Sure.
because we don't want to transfer germs, but it's like no, we just don't want poor people in here, or people who don't have bank accounts.
There's this kid that I just
for
started kicking it with that he's creating an app that he basically calls Uber for bathrooms, where a venue or a restaurant or a coffee shop can put their bathroom on this app.
That's a great idea.
And then you can like look where the closest bathrooms are.
Oh, that's a great
And
idea.
and you pay some marginal fee though to use the bathroom.
That's crazy.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's
I
fire.
mean-
you just ruined his fucking $1 billion idea because now people that are listening to this.
yeah. I mean, paying a fee.
My bad.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. Am I right?
No, he's already got the app. He's already got it trademarked and all that.
Oh
shit.
wow. I mean, I would say
The millions of people.
Yeah,
that
right,
listen to
yeah,
this
right.
podcast, You just
Jeff Bezos
Yeah,
is watching this
yeah.
right now.
Oh, fuck.
Did you say Jeff Bezos?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yo, Jeff, I got an Amazon package that hasn't come in a while.
He's right there. He's always
what-
watching over us.
I was just telling Jeff that I have an Amazon package that is long due, long overdue.
Jeff Bezos has a scope aimed at your friend's fucking head. And he's
Yeah.
just like, take the shot.
With one of those crazy bullets.
Yeah. One of the crazy.
They're actually studying blood splatter over at Amazon as well.
Oh, I'm
course,
sure,
yeah.
dog. Amazon's about to get
Dude, they
deep
just bought
in.
MGM
That's
for
wild.
$8.2 billion.
Yeah, when it was valued at $5 billion.
Yes.
So he was like so gun ho about getting it. One of the things that they said was MGM has all the rights to Trump's outtakes in The Apprentice,
hilarious.
which Tom Arnold has said is filled with him saying the N-word, cunt, and like saying all sorts of racial slurs.
Oh my god.
So I'm interested if that is
They're gonna
part
release it,
if that is
yeah.
part of the play.
I mean, maybe if they let him do like some sort of Trump documentary or something. I highly doubt it though. They're
That's
probably
some petty shit.
yeah. Well, wait, are Jeff Bezos and Donald Trump, are they cool?
They're
in any way?
no. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post.
Oh,
and
okay.
so the Washington Post is very critical of Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
And so and Trump was always critical of Amazon throughout. the whole
Gotcha.
process.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, this is some like Succession shit.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you know,
Succession times a fucking million.
yeah, like
Those
you
are the
know,
most powerful people in the world duking it out.
Logan Roy just fucking bought out MGM just to spite somebody. You know? It's like, you don't think I could buy this shit? I'll buy it. That's fucking crazy, man. It's wild.
Wow.
Everything's going to streaming now. All these streaming companies own everything.
Yeah, I can't even keep up with all the shit. Like, we're trying to put this show together that we are hoping that Netflix is pumped about. But if
Yeah, I remember you were kind of saying some
Yeah,
things
so-
about that. And
it's moving along. We have the investor meetings on Monday. We've
Wow.
got Netflix is interested in it.
is it comedy or I mean, is it like
Yeah.
stand up or what
So
is
it's an adaptation of the podcast. So it's highlighting a specific social issue and then working with groups that are working to alleviate it.
that's amazing.
So then there's some stand up throughout it, but then it's like some monologue stuff with Frankie French and myself.
That's amazing.
So, but the only reason I bring it up is that when I was like, well, what if Netflix doesn't take it? Frankie started listing off all these streaming platforms. I was like, what the fuck are half of these?
Yeah.
And somehow they all have, like, there's just so many fucking people that there's so many, you can still get so many views and still only have a section of like Northwest Washington.
Yes.
It's fucking wild.
No, there's so many different streaming services now, which is nuts. That's why it's so weird, because like streaming, I feel like, was first advertised to us as like a cheaper alternative to cable and stuff, especially for like younger people. That's why you bought it. It was $7.99 for Netflix instead of like getting a cool cable box and that's $50 a month or whatever. Yeah. But now you have so many fucking apps that it's the same price as paying for cable.
Yeah.
Like I have fucking Disney Plus, I have fucking Apple Plus, I have fucking HBO Max, I have fucking Netflix. Like I have all these fucking things for different shows, and it's like I could just have fucking Cablevision or some shit, you know?
I think I only pay for, technically Verizon gave me one free year of Disney Plus. Okay. And then all the other ones are friends or parents.
Okay, yeah. No, I definitely have like mixed and matched. Like, you know, I don't pay for Netflix.
Sure.
You know, and like I'll give my brother my HBO Max like password and shit. So we definitely do some swapping, but
sure.
Even so, it's like still just like,
I don't know if it's gonna be the CIA, Jeff Bezos, or Netflix, but we're gonna get got from this episode somehow.
Oh yeah, no, it's going to fucking happen, bro. It's gonna happen. I also want to know when Amazon's gonna make a game console. They definitely will.
Oh, interesting.
There's just no way they won't. That
seems like a thing that a business would acquire more than but I guess they can't take Xbox because that's Microsoft.
Yeah, and PlayStation's massive.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about acquiring?
Like, I'm saying like when is Amazon, like Jeff Bezos, gonna come out with their own game system?
Gotcha.
And he was saying that seems like something they would more just buy rather than try to create their own themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would require a lot.
I mean,
not that they couldn't do it, but yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a great idea because now, like, what is it? Video games. We were talking about this when we had another guest, Lucy Pohl. She plays a character on the video game Overwatch, which is on like PC and all that. It's almost like World of Warcraft. Yeah, like it's it's one of the biggest games.
See, it's another thing. It's like with gaming, I don't know shit about gaming, and it's some people's fucking life.
It's a whole nother world, man, and it dwarfs like streaming and every other form of media.
Yeah, my buddy that was in rehab for heroin was in there with a guy that was in there for World of Warcraft.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was rooming with him.
That was his addiction.
So they would like have conversations where like my friend had ended up like in a crack house and like all this like rock bottom type shit, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I was just shitting in a bag because I couldn't leave World of Warcraft."
Wow.
I made up that last story. I don't know if that's. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But
that,
it's though, bro. Legit.
And that's definitely something where I'm like, you know, all right, yeah, you might need to go to the facility for a while if you're doing that.
My first like exposure to somebody who was a serious gamer like that was actually a roommate of mine in college for the first semester. His name was Casey. When he got to college, he had 93 days played on fucking Final Fantasy.
Jesus Christ.
And that was on Xbox because it shows you like how long you played and shit like that. Yeah. The most I ever got up to was like 3.5 days of playing, and that was over like 3 years of being on.
Well, dude, I mean, that's why I never got into Game of Thrones, because I remember very vividly that the day I was like, maybe I should watch Game of Thrones, there were like 57 hours to watch, and I was just like, I'm not fucking doing
this.
I'm too big to tackle.
Yeah,
for sure.
like I'm fucking not doing.
I will say though, one of my boys, he didn't watch Game of Thrones through the whole craze. He didn't watch it, and then he just watched it like a month or two ago, and he was like, "Yo, it's the fucking shit!" Like he literally spent like 2 or 3 weeks just watching the whole thing. He was like, "This is the shit," and he was like, everybody, he was like, you know, they all hated the end because I kind of did too, but he was like, the end makes so much sense if you're watching the whole thing in succession.
Sure.
You know, if you wait a year, and he was like, I can understand why people hated it, but
I just got
really good.
Just got into Sopranos.
Yeah, I can't. That's something I can't get into.
Oh, really?
I've tried it a few times, and it's good, but it's like it just doesn't make me want to watch another episode.
Oh.
I just go, wow, that episode was dope.
Well, but that was also like early in the like cult like watching of shows.
Yes, yeah.
But like now they've really got the algorithms down. They've really got the exact format to know like always like the only way that I can like get out of binge watching shit is I have to turn off an episode in the middle.
Yeah,
because it's always meant at the end to do something to hook you.
Yeah.
Just like whether it's some
next episode
mystery
thing. And
that was like that was very fascinating with did you watch Andrew Schultz thing on
Flagrant
Netflix?
2? Oh no, I didn't. I haven't seen his Netflix special now.
It's cool, and it definitely has. It probably doesn't have that much of a shelf life, but it is very like current.
Yeah, it's
at
not
when it was-
straight
when
like
it-
stand up. Really,
But
it's like a different vibe.
I just mean that at the end, what he does with like how it transfers you into the next episode, like the dude's really figured out how to keep people watching his shit. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
totally does. I watched Flagrant 2 a decent amount. Like I just kind of tap in and out. If you haven't seen it before, it's basically like he has his own like YouTube show or whatever where he does like I don't know. Do they have like full on episodes where it's like an hour or is it just
they
little
do.
clips?
Yeah, they do. But he's always been
Big off the little clips.
little
yeah.
clips because he was saying so.
Andrew Schultz is a comedian and stuff. He's like a
Yeah.
stand up guy and something big will happen that's like trending and he'll just talk about it for like 10 minutes and he has
Yeah.
all these writers and shit like that and it's really cool. So
But he when he started whatever, like his special had been turned down by a couple different groups, and so he decided to put it on YouTube, but put it in digestible pieces. And so they were looking at like Joe Rogan, his last special on Netflix. People usually only watched about 30 minutes of it on average, where Andrew Schultz on average was getting something wild like 2+ hours.
Yeah.
But it was because he would make it in these small digestible things that just blended into each other.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a dude that I take a lot of notes from in the like marketing aspect and building.
No,
a
he's
company and
a
stuff like
smart guy, man. And I've seen him live a couple times. Like he's clearly talented. Like you watch
Sure.
him and it's like he knows how to control a room. He's good. He's not my favorite comic, but he's fucking good.
Sure.
And I respect anybody trying to go into a different direction.
Sure.
And still giving authentic comedy because like he could be a shitty lame YouTuber but he's not. You watch him and you still know, oh, this guy's a real stand-up.
Sure.
He's not just like some petty dude, I don't know, just trying to get like weird reactions.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why I'm trying to go. I've been building out this like sales agency that's just selling these corporate shows.
nice. Okay.
And I'm hoping to use like my background in sales as to be like my competitive advantage because I fucking hate YouTube, social media. Like I'm just like I hate it so much. It drains my fucking psyche every time that I'm on it for a long time, and just participating in it is just exhausting.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm hoping that through these direct sales processes can kind of grow up that way.
I feel you.
Or just keep on hopping on your podcast.
Or just keep on hopping on the podcast. There you go. No, I feel you in the same way where it's like I wouldn't be doing Instagram or any of that shit if I like didn't have any shows. Like I purely use it for promotions. Like and it's cool. I think there's like different reasons to use it. Like number one, I mean, hey, if you just want to keep up with people, that's your own business or whatever. But I use it for promotions. You use it for like photography to showcase your photography. These are all good reasons. But I think when you get sucked in just because of like what other people are doing and constantly comparing yourself, that's when it gets bad.
Yeah, I've obviously. I mean, I first started using Instagram just
as whatever.
When I first got word of it in like 2012 or 13 or something like that. It wasn't a big deal, but then when I started modeling is when I really started using it to build like a following and to build a brand. And then, you're collaborating with other photographers and shit. And your stuff is being kind of spread around. But yeah, I've gotten to that point in my journey where I'm like paying very much less attention to others and what they're doing.
Yes.
And really just trying to go on there just to bring business to myself, which I've always tried, but there was a long period, probably 4 years, where I was really on there to obviously promote myself, but like really be connected with people.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And I think this also just kind of comes back to the conversation we were having earlier with COVID, and it's like, how much do I really care about spending this time on this app right now?
Sure.
To see what you're doing, or
Sure.
to see if we can work in some kind of way, or
Exactly.
network on Instagram. You know what I mean? It's just like,
get the
I'd
work
rather
done.
be that person where I just have clients coming to me because of the work that I'm doing, which has always been the case. But
Well,
now
this
it's
is why
even
we're
more
doing
so,
we're doing
you
this.
know?
You know what I mean? And this
Yeah.
is why both of us I think have done a lot of shit. I have my shows. You have your shows. You know what I mean? You're doing your photography and getting like a new studio and all that shit.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
about actually doing the work, and when you actually do the work, people start to just be attracted to you
Sure.
in general.
Yeah, it's about doing
You know?
100%.
But you lose your way. For a long time, I didn't know that. I was just out there fucking drinking and partying and hanging out and talking shit and be like, I'm gonna have a show or I'm gonna write this thing, and then never doing it. You know?
Yeah.
It's like we all go through that phase. That's no harm, no foul. It's just
I'm very lucky that I'm not comfortable if I'm not doing a lot of shit.
that's how I feel now. I
Yeah.
don't know how I ever survived before then.
Yeah.
Now I can't feel comfortable unless I'm like moving.
Right. And it's
You know?
to the point that it's an issue that I have to like constantly stop myself and be like, look, take a fucking day.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I don't, and now I'm not drinking too.
Oh yeah.
So now
now
like
you're extra hyped.
right. And so drinking was how I quieted that.
Yeah.
Like I'd just be like, okay, you're not gonna do any more shit, have a beer.
Yeah.
And then as soon as a beer touches my lips, I'm just like, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But now that I'm not doing that, I'm just constantly just like, all right, well, I'm going to create another show. I'm going to, pitch this shit to Netflix. I think I'm recording an album in November.
Nice.
I'm very excited
Hell
about.
fucking yeah.
What kind of music are you trying to make? Or
It'll be a
music
comedy
do you make?
album. It'll be a comedy album.
Oh, okay.
I never know what the fuck to call it because I hate the word special. It just sounds so self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Like to say,
Yeah. I mean, you're literally calling yourself
right.
special.
But album seems weird because that it always has that confusion that people are like, oh, it's a music, huh? I'm just gonna record.
You're doing an hour of begging people to like you.
I'm gonna
How about
record
that?
some shit. It's gonna be funny as
That's
fuck.
what comedy
Yeah,
is.
it's gonna be funny as fuck.
We can decide right now what we want to call it.
Well,
Yeah. What's the name?
so I'm trying to focus a lot more on trying to be happy, right?
Yes.
And just kind of the process of like, it's difficult. Like a lot of people just like,
Yes.
a lot of people just are happy, but I think that like most people just, it's fucking difficult. And it's like almost like having to stay in shape.
Yes.
Do you know what I-
Completely. Yeah. You have to like maintain your happiness.
Right. I'll be like, oh shit, I was just happy for 5 days straight. That was dope. And then like, then
Yeah.
try to like, so trying to talk a lot about that. It is absurd. This joke that I'm working on right now that I'm fucking pumped about is talking about the plight of the ghost and how it's been left to the wayside
I
with
remember
all the
that joke. I like that
modernization.
joke, Yeah.
And it's silly as fuck, and it's probably the silliest joke that I've ever. But I also really like it because it's like we're talking automation, we're talking people getting kicked out of jobs and gentrification and stuff like that. But trying to do very silly ways of talking about trying to be happy and trying to be a good human.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a lot of comedy is very focused on. This is fucked up. Here's a funny reason why.
Yes.
I really like the idea of this is actually fucking dope, but here's a reason why it's hard to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I like that outlook actually, and that's a different type of outlook than a lot of people have.
And it's forced. It's very much like not my resting state. You know what I mean?
Try to do.
I have to constantly be like I've just started doing the thing where every morning when I wake up, 5 things that I'm grateful for.
Really.
Right?
Doing
It's
the
just like
gratification. Nice.
it's like it's a game changer. It's very easy to not do. It's very easy to not do, but it is a game changer that I'm like, all right, word. Now you're thinking about things that you're happy about as opposed to every morning when I wake up thinking about how fucked the world is, how much work I've got, like all this shit. I'm just like, all right, these are some cool things. Go have the day. But yeah, so I think a lot of that shit of working to be happy seems kind of counterintuitive, but it's like it's fucking hard.
It's not. We gotta work on our happiness. Man.
No, you have to.
It's crazy because everything you're saying right now, and for the last like 5 minutes, is very on par with like everything that I'm doing right now as well. Even just in the last week, I stopped drinking. I haven't had a drink for I don't know since maybe last Saturday or something like that.
Sure.
So, And I started working out in the morning again, and I'm just so much happier. And even tonight,
for sure.
I'm tempted to go have a drink for sure. But thinking about that next day, and then when you start actually putting more valued time into yourself,
absolutely,
and more conscious decisions about what you're doing with your time or what habits you're going to let yourself fall into that day, or how you're starting your day. I don't look at my phone for the first hour.
That's a good one. I'm bad about that one.
I look at it immediately as soon as I'm awake.
As soon as I look at my phone in the morning, my day is just off in a different direction.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it anymore.
Sure,
that's a good idea. I've never even thought about that.
Well, I've started keeping my phone in a way different room, so that I can hear the alarm going in the back for two reasons. One, I'm not just gonna reach over, put it on snooze.
Yeah,
but then also just having the phone, whether it vibrates or anything in the middle of the night, just kind of fucks with me. I've had times where I'm strong about not having the phone, but this is a fucking drug.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And also too, it's all the stuff that we do, all three of us.
By the way, when you pull out your phone,
yeah,
good sign.
That is a good sign.
It's a great album.
I do need to start thinking about wrapping it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna wrap it up here anyway. God damn it, you're abandoning us?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Air fry you some food.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
I thought we were bonding here, dude. What the fuck? Let me just check if this is still recording.
You want a drink?
I want another tall mug of water. A lot of that. Yeah, that Hofbräu House.
How do you say?
Hofbräu House, I think it's HOFFBRAHOU.
How do you say water in German? Do you know?
Wasser.
Wasser. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wasser.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I used to take German back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In middle school, and then halfway through high school, and then it just got too hard.
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing enough. I knew a decent amount of it, but I wasn't willing enough to still keep up with it. So I was fuck it, I'll just do Spanish. And then I was like, wait, this is way harder because everybody's been in this since middle school.
When I was living in Holland, I was hooking up with this German chick, and so I was trying to learn German for all of 4 months because that was how long we were hooking up.
Yeah. Well, there's a girl I know out in Spain and everything, so I'm actually trying to learn Spanish right now.
Sure.
Yeah, because we've been talking to each other through Google Translate. Basically.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's how it is right now.
That's the number one way people learn new language.
Is fucking somebody.
Yeah.
I'm to see this person,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go visit this. So I'm gonna try and learn some language.
Yeah, I don't want that barrier, dude. You know what I mean? I want to know how it's to really communicate with her in a real way. You know.
Completely.
You know.
For sure.
But yeah, we're gonna start wrapping up here. We're a little over an hour. Stephen, is there anything else you want to say? Anything you want to plug? Or
we got the Nonprofits podcast where we're talking to nonprofits like Black Lives Matter and partnering with corporate groups like Lululemon to raise some awareness about different social causes. So Nonprofits, NONPROPHETS. Do it with Frankie French. I think that's all I got to plug right now.
Actually, crazy enough, I'm working for a nonprofit right now.
Okay.
I am the only white person in the nonprofit. It's called Lights Out Volleyball. We bring volleyball to
quit your bragging
underserved and underrepresented communities.
Okay, word.
So yeah, maybe
come on the podcast. Let's talk volleyball.
Yeah, we need to connect, and I can bring on the founder and everything like that.
I'm down for sure.
Guy, actually,
I'm down for sure.
I'll tell you what all those starving Africans need.
Yeah.
He's not an Indian cadaver. What did you say?
No, I was saying I tell you what all these starving Africans need: volleyball.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's actually how I got started. I actually got started I already told you this kind of through my mom.
Yeah. No, that's fucking lit.
Crazy, but
that's really cool though.
That's
cool.
dope.
I need to listen to your podcast.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah, his is really, really good, man.
Yeah.
It's a really good time.
I want to give a quick shout out earlier
Yes.
because I literally was blanking when I was trying to think about Liquid Labs, the fucking company that I work for.
Well, oh, okay.
I thought you were trying to do some I shouldn't say
That's
that.
what I was saying
Yeah.
too. I thought he was trying to keep it quiet too. That's hilarious. You just blew up your own spot.
You're like, I shouldn't say it because I'll say it completely wrong.
That's hilarious.
I'm gonna admit it. It was slipping my fucking mind.
That's so fucking funny.
Liquid Labs. If you ever need, if you're throwing one of these events or anything like that, Liquid Labs, man, we do all kinds of like we have our own cocktails that we create as well. We also do bartending classes. So
Okay.
we go to these luxury apartments as well, and we teach
Word. Got it.
classes other than just bartending an event.
Sure.
That's legit.
But yeah, and it kind of went through my ear. But who did you say you're partnered with when you do these luxury apartment?
It's called Live Unlimited.
Live Unlimited. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, so we have a nice little agreement with them. But yeah, so we are the comedy arm of what they're doing in like 250 properties.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
Holy
All
shit,
right,
man. There we
Well, yeah,
go.
man, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
You got something else for us, Phil?
Not really. Just guys, stay tuned for more shit coming out on Learning Things.
And
We're
like
gonna-
and share.
Yes, and like and share. There you go. And on top of that, you guys can check me out if you're in the New York area at Bushwick Public House every Sunday at 8 p.m. for my show Hot Damn, and on Wednesday every Wednesday at 7:30 and 9 o'clock at Arrogant Swine in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Yeah.
Also Stephen Campbell Comedy on Instagram.
Yes, there you go.
Fine. You want to spell that? Actually, no.
I'll put. Oh yeah, we'll put your stuff in the description
Word.
and everything like that. Yeah, that's about it, guys. So
Cheers. Good talking with everybody.
Stephen Campbell, thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out.
Very nice meeting you. Very nice to talk with you. Fucking some incredible stories.
I know some
Yeah, I got a
real
lot of
crazy shit.
I got a lot of them.
Goddamn right. Love it.
Fucking great.
All right, we'll see you later, guys.
See you
Peace.
next time.
Mwah. Yeah, I got a piece so bad.